Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Sally Howell. I'm a professor of history here. I'm also the director of the Center for Arab American Studies, and this event is being sponsored by the Center for Arab American Studies, the Middle East Studies Program, and the library, the Meridian Library. So we welcome everyone here. A few months ago, when we were talking about this idea of having a program that looked at current events in the Middle East, the idea was broached to us by a few students and an alum who were really wanting to talk about all the uprisings that are taking place, especially in Iran and Iraq and Lebanon. That was sort of the motivation. One of those people who asked us to do this is in Iraq right now. Another one is in Lansing this afternoon, lobbying the state government over something. So these are people who were motivated to learn more and to take action on the things that matter to them. And you know, in the months since that we had that initial conversation, obviously quite a bit has happened in the Middle East. Many of the uprisings have turned violent. They looked so much more optimistic in the beginning. They've turned perhaps predictably violent. We've almost been brought to the brink of war with Iran. And of course, yesterday, our president signed what he referred to as a peace treaty, but what people in this room might refer to the Palestine in Pieces Treaty, because that's really what it represented. So we're very happy to have so much expertise on these topics, and I consider the people up here sitting next to me to have expertise, but I also consider everyone in this room to have expertise too. So the idea of this afternoon is for us to hear from some of these scholars who have worked on these topics, but also for us to hear from you and for us to have a really an engaged conversation on this subject. So toward that end, just as a little bit of housekeeping, I'm going to, when I leave my position up here, I'm going to come down and pass around some of these sheets. We're going to follow a formula where we ask you to write questions, just because we find that helps facilitate conversation a little more. Some of us tend to perhaps make statements rather than ask questions in a Q&A, so hopefully we'll have a little bit of a cure for that.
Nobody here.
No one here. But anyway, so I'm going to pass these out. So if you have a question for any one of the panelists, and if you can ask, tell us which panelist your question is for, because I think that also makes it easier for us. And I want to also, since I have a room full of people, most of whom were not on hand for our opening on the 17th, there is in the new Stamos Gallery, right past the stairwell, an exhibit called Halal Metropolis, which explores the visibility of the Muslim community here in Detroit through the arts and through history and documentary evidence and things like that. So I want to encourage everybody when they leave this room to go over there to the Stamos and check out our exhibit while you're in the library. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speakers in alphabetical order, and then they're going to share their insights with you. Diana Abu Ali is the director of the Arab American National Museum in Dearborn. Prior to working at the museum, she was assistant professor at Dartmouth College, head of research and collections at the Palestinian Museum in Birzeit, and director of education and outreach at Petra National Trust in Amman, Jordan. She's a board member of Art East and the Palestinian Museum, and she's also a member of the UM-Dearborn Citizens Advisory Committee. She has a PhD in history and Middle Eastern studies from Harvard. Cameron Michael Amin joined the faculty here at Dearborn in 1997 with his PhD from Chicago. He currently serves as the coordinator of the Middle East Studies Certificate Program, principal investigator for the Michigan-Iranian American Oral History Project, and the president of the Association for Iranian Studies. Rifat Dika is a lecturer 4 of Arabic Studies at the University of Michigan-Dearborn. He received a PhD in Sociology of Religion and Middle Eastern Studies from Wayne State University. Saeed Khan is Senior Lecturer of Near East and Asian Studies and Global Studies at Wayne State University, and he's currently the Director of Global Studies there as well. Ron Stockton is a professor of political science. He teaches courses on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, religion and politics, the politics of revolution, and the politics of the developing area. So let's just thank them all for being up here.